Hello po mga ka-viral and welcome back again to this YouTube channel. Latest update na naman tayo. Tukoy na ng Committee on Franchise na maaaring kontrolado na ng China ang elektrisidad ng bansa under sa NGCP o National Grid Commission of the Philippines. Dalawang Chinese na chairman at alternate chairman ng NGCP for Works and Implementation ay umamin na sa totoong status ng NGCP. Natukoy din sa committee hearing na itong mga Chinese na ito ay mga in charge sa pagbili ng mga lupa para pagtatayuan ng NGCP, system control at sa mga bidding. Nakakabahala di umano ito according sa mga congressmen sa national security ng ating bansa dahil maaari nitong biglang ipa-shutdown ang elektrisidad at power ng bansa dahil sila ang may hawak dito. Ang malaking katanungan ngayon ay bakit ito nangyari at bakit ito pinabayaan ng nagdaang administration. Dumalo sa pagdinig sina Atty. Malyari at dalawa pang mga representatives ng NGCP na parang in denial ang kanilang mga statements, subalit nabubulol sila sa pagsagot at nahuli din na kontrolado na ng China itong NGCP kahit labag ito sa National Constitution at kahit na 60% dapat ay pagmamayari ng Pilipinas. Narito ang matitinding revelasyon sa Committee Hearing on Franchise. Atin pong panuurin.
Mga bid na ito ay mahigit kalahati ho ay puro China o Chinese-owned bidders o Chinese-owned companies. Now, bakit ko sinasabi to, no? Na ano bang importansya, no? Okay lang naman ho siguro kung mag-bid ang isang Chinese company kung wala hong bidder mula sa Pilipinas. Do you agree?
Opo.
Okay. So, dun ho sa mga bids, sino ho nag-evaluate ng bids? Sino nagsasabing mananalo ito, matatalo ito, hindi nagka-qualify ito? Sino ho yan?
Meron po kaming department, Your Honor, at yung most advantageous bid, yun po yung mako-consider for an award, Mr. Chair.
Can you repeat that, please?
Meron po kaming department that who evaluates kung ang most advantageous bid, Your Honor, sa kanya po maa-award yung project, Your Honor.
Base sa amin kasing information, ang nag-evaluate o yung membro ng evaluation, bid evaluation, nag-submit ng bid evaluation report on this particular project ay si Mr. Yuan Mingjun at si Mr. Chen Changwei. You're familiar with those names?
I am not familiar with those names, Your Honor.
Yes, I agree because you were not there yet. No, this was 2014 project. So for those who were already there in 2014, you're familiar with these names?
Your Honor, I have been in NGCP since 2011 but I'm not familiar with those names.
So yung hindi ho totoo na meron pong nag-evaluate na by the name of Mr. Yuan Mingjun at Chen Chingwei.
Again, as I repeat, Your Honor, I'm not familiar of those names. But as mentioned by Attorney Malyari, we have a department which evaluates the bid submitted by different bidders and recommend the award with the most advantageous bid, Your Honor.
Based on the documents that we have, it seems that the approval, the evaluation of all these bids are done by these two Chinese nationals. Which again, I would like to raise this point that this is quite alarming and concerning. Kanina, sinabi natin yung pagbili ng lupa, Chinese ang nagdidesisyon. Yung pag-implement ng project, Chinese ang nagdidesisyon. So again, can we ask the Secretariat to please flash on the screen
which particular document do you want flashed?
I think yan yun.
These are the
bidders, no? These are the bidders doon sa project which I specified, no? And in the next slide, it will show, can you show the next slide? So, majority po ng mga kumpanyang ito ay China-owned corporations. So, the next slide please, Secretariat. Kanina ho kasi na-raise na po ito ni Congressman Suarez. And when he raised this issue of Chinese nationals being involved in the decision-making of the NGCP, did not just raise eyebrows, so to speak, but also, ito ay isang national security vulnerability sa tingin ko na yung mga importanteng desisyon ng NGCP ay nasa kamay ng mga dayuhan. So, yung next slide will show what I was mentioning earlier, yung sinasabing working group. No? Wherein itong si Mr. Yuan Mingjun at saka si Cheng Changwei, the chairman and the alternate chairman of the working group, no, are the ones deciding. So, ayan, yung name na Uyang, ayan, that's July 11, 2014, the so-called working group, the chairman of that is Yuan Mingjun, and the alternate chairman is Chen Changwei. So, as you said earlier, you're not familiar with this document, but perhaps ma'am, maybe you're familiar with this since you were there already in 2011.
Your Honor, I'm not familiar with this document.
So, you're not familiar with that. So, dalawang bagay lang ito. Yung research namin at yung base sa dokumentong sinasubmit nyo sa amin ay yun mga information that we'd like to be clarified on. That's why we ask these questions to you. Now, earlier, tinanong natin yung systems guy ninyo kung ano yung procedure, no, para i-shut off, i-turn on or i-turn it off yung buong power system. At sabi niya, ang in charge lang doon ay yung duty manager. If I remember it correctly, there's just one person or maybe 2 or 3 of them who are in control of the shutting down or the turning on of the system. To me, and I'm sure my colleagues will share my apprehension, na nakakatakot ito. Nakakatakot ito. And this is, again, something that we should really correct and we should look into, Mr. Chair. Now, other issues that were raised earlier by Kong Dan Fernandez were quite alarming too, no? Especially dun sa violation sa Section 8. But listening to the NGCP, definitely the first reaction is to deny, no, and to short of saying disagreeing with the observation of Congressman Dan Fernandez, and we respect that. It's just that we're all here para ayusin itong sistemang ito at hindi ito hindi mangyari yung kinakatakutan natin na maaari at posibleng mangyari, considering that we have now an issue with China in the West Philippine Sea. I cannot imagine utility companies being managed and operated by, quote-unquote, the enemy. I'm sure you wouldn't want to sleep with your enemy. And majority ng ating mga kababayan na nakikinig ngayon ay nagtatanong, totoo ba na kapag halimbawa nagkaroon tayo ng alitan sa ating kapitbahay na China, isang pindot lang ba nila, mawawala na ang power sa atin? That needs to be answered. The Filipino people must be informed. They need to know kung ito ay posibleng mangyari. Pero sa sagot kanina, parang posible. Parang posible. Unless you have a better reply to that question, ma'am.
Mr. Chair, nandun ako sa likod nung kausap niyo si...
Nabanggit yung Senate hearing, our resource person relayed to us that President Almeda made a testimony about the cyber attacks, whether it is against the corporate system or the system of NGCP. I wish to be certain. The committee wishes to be certain. We have reports as well that in the same Senate inquiry, Transco consultant by the name Ronaldo Del Mundo testified that NARI is a transmission control operation of platform system which allows remote access. This is according to consultant Ronaldo Del Mundo of Trasco. And to add, Mr. Chair, in the same Senate inquiry, the same Mr. Del Mundo testified as well that NARI is a computer control na pwedeng mag-switch on, switch off ng circuit breaker ng power plants. Mr. Chair, I wish to believe that the transcript of records of this Senate inquiry forms part of the public records. Therefore, Mr. Chair, this representation humbly move that we request for a copy of this transcript for all of us to be enlightened on the testimony that were given already by President Almeda, along with Ronaldo Del Mundo, because these are under oath testimonies, which should not be contradicted when they testify on a different forum or investigation. So, Mr. Chair.
There's a motion. Any second? Duly seconded. Chairing no objection. The motion of the Honorable Luistro is approved. COMSEC, please carry out the letter request to the Senate. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I recall likewise that during the last hearing, I manifested my desire to conduct an ocular inspection of this system control, which we allege as NARI until we are able to verify, of NGCP. However, Mr. Chair, I found out from the records that since 2019, in spite of the regulatory power given to Transco, to ERC, wala pa palang nangyayaring system audit dito sa system control.
Sir, your 5 minutes up, but we will give you an extension because you're also a senior citizen.
Yes, I invoke
Okay,
that
for
because
two.
otherwise
Okay.
there will be no equal protection of the laws.
Okay.
If you are going to
Proceed.
give
We will extend.
Congressman Marcoleta and not me. Thank you for the
Okay,
3 minutes.
thank you.
Otherwise, you violate the Constitution.
Mr. Chairman, please.
Please, attorney.
No finding of any violation by
Eh?
NICA. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. And since when did you have this memorandum allowing NICA to really go into the operations, go into the your distribution system and the influence of the Chinese in the NGCP? When did you have that NICA agreement?
Mr. Chairman,
Please.
thank you, Mr. Chairman. Prior to this administration, we had been allowing NICA, ISAF to inspect our facilities. During this administration of President Marcos, we entered into a memorandum of agreement with Nika. And also during this administration, we allowed them, Mr. Chairman, to hold office in NGCP. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So you're saying
Proceed.
that Nika, Mr. Chairman, can I proceed? You're saying that the Nika is holding office right there in your premises.
That's what I said, Mr. Chairman.
Wow. And
Thank you.
also, you mentioned about the ISAP. Do you have also agreements with the armed forces of the Republic of the Philippines?
Mr. Chairman, with respect to the armed forces of the Philippines, we have agreements in the local level with respect to the protection of our facilities. And we also have an agreement with the armed forces of the Philippines with respect to reservists. We have reservists who are employees of NGCP who committed themselves to protect the transmission facilities. And Attorney Samboy here is a lieutenant colonel, lieutenant colonel of the reserve forces of the armed forces of the Philippines. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So, in all the operations from the time you started in 2008 up to now, has there been any derogatory report and you have been asked by the NICA, the armed forces, and all the intelligence bodies here that you have to be, there are violations in terms of possibility. We're talking about possibilities. Possibility of interference by these Chinese who are always intruding illegally in our West Philippine Sea, and which the Chinese has lost all 8 points in the international arbitral tribunal in Den Haag. Was there any to alert you? Because the NICA is the primary intelligence gathering and analysis of our country. Was there anything from the time you operated up to now that NICA has called your attention to violations?
Mr. Chairman, there's none. We haven't received any notice from NICA, from ISAF, that we are violating security measures and laws. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And my final question is to the President, President Anthony Almeida. You're under oath. Where is Anthony?
Mr. Almeida, please take your respective seat. I
Do
think
you-
he went to the restroom.
Yeah.
Right
Do you
there.
assure this august committee on franchise, with our distinguished members here present and the valued resource persons, can you state you're under oath that there is no possibility of interference from the Chinese in our operation, especially in the supply of electricity in this country, which was also stated by the chairman, no less than Henry C. Sr., that there is no possibility at all, and everything is fake news, that the Chinese can interfere and can black out the entire country. Can you say that categorically, unequivocally?
Mr. Almeida, you're under oath.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Yes, there is no possibility that, as far as I'm concerned, as a Filipino citizen and as a reserve also of the armed forces, I categorically say that there's no possibility, Mr. Chair, that the Chinese can,
Thank you. And with that, Mr. Chairman, it is clear that the NGCP has not violated any constitutional provision, and even the principles underlying the Constitution. Number
Thank
two, Mr. Chairman, it has clearly followed all the provisions of its franchise. Third, all that they have done has been approved by the ERC. The pass-on of the franchise tax and all the cross-ownership and also the public offering. So, Mr. Chairman, I do not see how we can continue with this hearing when there are no violations. Mr. Chairman, that is my question.
Thank you.
Would you again want to go delve on that when clearly the constitutional issues, the franchise issues, the speculations, Mr. Chairman, I think we should already adjourn and let's go to face what are the important bills of our country, like my intelligence bills, my anti-espionage bills,
Thank you
because
very
that
much.
will increase the penalties of spies.
Thank
in
you
this
very
country.
much, the
Thank you.
Honorable Rufus Rodriguez.
Mr. Chair.
Like I said, these are this is an inquiry, and not because there is a franchise violation, because that is for the committee to make, Congressman Rufus, and not solely within your authority. Okay? That is a collective
Mr. Chair.
decision. So hindi nyo kayang desisyonan ho kung may franchise violation. But again, we're looking at how to bring down the prices of electricity, and we will continue to do so until we're able to achieve that goal. Now,
Mr. Chair.
the USEC Janet Garin is
Sharon, sir.
recognized.
Sharon.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The better Garin. Okay. Okay. The USEC Sharon Garin is recognized.
Mr. Chair, I just wanted to clarify lang, ang records ng DOE on the approvals of the, yung mga magtatrabaho na foreigners, we have from 2018 to 2024, there are directors, senior technical advisor, but we don't have the record of the individual that you are looking for. But maybe if there's such a claim, because that's way back for us, baka pwedeng i-provide lang ng NGCP kung that's the claim, Mr. Chair. Because we don't have it in DOE, Mr. Chair.
Much. Attorney Matibag.
Mr. Chair, gusto ko lang pong ilatag sa committee, the last hearing that we have in the Senate, chaired before by the chairman of Energy and Senate, Senator Win Gatchalian, kasi pina-under oath kanina si President Almeda na hindi possible, na may attacks, gano'n. I think if we will review the transcript of that hearing, he admitted that
Mr. Chairman,
NGCP
point of order. Can a fellow resource person ask or
I'm not
comment on the question? Can he cross-examine a fellow?
No. He is not, Honorable Mikey, he is not because I acknowledged him, and for him to state his opinion. May I know what happened to that hearing?
Well,
I was about to ask
trying
that question.
give something kung ayaw niyong marinig ng...
Yes, go ahead,
I will not
please.
speak.
Please. Ano yun?
Hindi, nag-hearing kasi noon, chaired by... That was the last hearing that we had. That was...
Anong sabi ni... Anong
Sinabi niya na...
Point of order,
everyday-
Mr. Chairman. Melvin.
Attorney Matibag, pwede ba tapusin na ho
Di ba po,
natin?
Mr. Chair, we are here to find the truth.
Yes, correct.
I'm
Go
here
ahead.
as a citizen also.
Okay. Proceed. Please proceed.
I'm not for China, I'm for Philippines.
Okay, go ahead.
Witch
Okay.
hunting here.
So what was said?
You don't want to witch hunt
So
here.
for
We are
the...
not with
One
something.
specific company.
I'm stating a fact. You reviewed the Senate
The facts are very clear. I tell you,
Order.
whatever is stated in the Senate is not here. It's what is stated here.
He
Yes.
was
okay.
under oath when he made that statement.
Correct.
We are now in Congress, in the House of Representatives.
Okay,
Yes.
Mr. Chair, if you don't
Yes.
want to hear me,
Again,
I will keep quiet.
like I said, I'm asking you to continue. What was said? Quiet, please.
He stated that NGCP is suffering an attack every day.
Okay.
And
Mr. Chair,
From
may I be
where?
recognized?
From where?
Kung saan-saan. Maraming yung cyber attack.
Okay. So yun ang issue.
Yun yung sinasabi ko kasi based doon sa sinasabi under oath, wala, hindi pwede.
Okay.
Mr. Chair,
Okay,
may I be
thank you very
recognized?
much. Attorney, sunod na po ha. I will acknowledge you. Relax ka lang. Okay? So I will, Attorney Matibag, are you done? Have you said your piece?
Okay na po
Let
kasi
it be
baka
said,
magalit po yung mga abogado.
Hindi. Okay, abogado ka rin naman eh. Okay, so pare-pareho kayo abogado. Yun ang mahirap pag maraming abogado. Attorney, okay?
Mr. Chair, thank you.
Yes.
I think Mr. Matibag and I were at that same hearing.
Okay.
And I'd just like to clarify the statement made was cyber attacks on our IT, our corporate system.
Okay.
Our corporate system, unlike our operating system, is indeed connected to the internet. And like any other corporate network, it is subject to periodic attempts. However, thankfully, and I am knocking on wood here, we have not had a breach of our IT for our corporate network. As opposed to our operating network, the one that runs the transmission system, we again emphasize that this is a closed system, disconnected by default from the internet. So there are no cyber attacks possible on the operating network, the OT. Yung IT po, ang binanggit ni Mr. Almeida at that time, and just to put into context what he said, we do suffer certain attempts, but we have been able thus far to repel all those attempts, even though there are certain periods, marami talaga siya.
Maraming salamat po.
Thank you,
Klaro
Mr.
po yan.
Chair.
So, I'm sure Attorney Matipag will stand by what he said and what he heard during that hearing. So we will try to get the transcript there. So we will see and compare. Anyway, thank you very much, Attorney. We now proceed to the next interpolator, the Deputy Majority Leader, the Honorable Franz Pomarin.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Just like I think every Filipino's main concern right now is the security issue. Today, or the last